Contaminated food, undercooked food, out-of-date food, all posing a risk to our health and causing 20,000 of us a week to fall ill.
It's clear we need protection. We need people who can stop the bad stuff getting into the food chain. We need people who have the power to close businesses down if they don't stick to the rules.
We have those people. They're called the food inspectors. And throughout this series, we'll be with them as they leave no cupboard unopened.
You've got insect legs in there.
And no shelf unchecked.
You haven't got a pest problem, have you?
We'll be there as they take on the businesses that flout the rules.
They've never got a good word for you.
And we'll be revealing the invisible risks you run every time you eat out.
You're exposing your customers to get food poisoning.
Let's go.
This week, the battle with the bottle, as the inspectors crack down on fake booze.
You can see why organised criminals are into that more than drugs.
Coming to a store near you, the drink that can make you blind.
This is being made with industrial chemicals.
Having second thoughts about a liquid lunch? Well, wait until you see the solids.
So you've got separation going on in there, and you can see there's some contamination.
I'll be in the lab as we go bacteria busting. And is your kitchen sink cleaner than a toilet? Our very own food inspector finds out.
You ready for this?
I'm ready for it. Go on then.
Now, we hear a lot about Britain's drink problem, from the weekend binges in our towns and cities to the growing quantities we're tending to drink at home. But while the problem's all too real, the alcohol increasingly isn't. In some parts of the UK, a quarter of retail outlets were found to be selling counterfeit booze. So it's clear this problem now goes way beyond the pub car park or the car boot sale. But could you tell the difference between counterfeit booze and the real thing? These guys can tell the difference. It's their job to sniff out the bootleg booze.
It's counterfeit.
And the hooky hooch.
It's a counterfeit one.
John and Andy's patch in Brent, North London, is being flooded with counterfeit alcohol.
You're selling fake wine to members of the public.
John tends to have quite a good smell for a big seizure. We go out for a couple of visits, routine visits, and he'll come back with a storage lock-up full of counterfeit goods. So we don't like him leaving the office too many times a month because the paperwork's quite big.
The counterfeit trade costs the UK taxpayer an estimated £1.2 billion in lost duty. But that's nothing. The fakes are being made with chemicals that can cause vomiting, blindness, even death. Council spending cuts means there's even less money to pay for inspectors.
Counterfeiting, it's a £1 billion, £1 trillion industry. There's so much money in it. You can see why organised criminals are into that more than drugs. It's faster, quicker, easier money.
Blossom Hill and Jacobs Creek are two of Britain's best-selling wine brands. They're also a favourite for the fraudsters. Now, look at these two bottles and see if you can tell which is fake, because I certainly can't. Which is why today I'm hitting the road with the experts. Why is it this place in particular that you've chosen?
Well, we've had a bit of intelligence that they've got some counterfeit wine in there, so we're just going to sort of follow up on that information and see what we can find.
Well, in you pop.
OK.
And we'll be following hard behind.
Brilliant.
My name's Andy, I'm from Trading Standards, Brent Council. It's my colleague John. We're just doing a standard inspection today of your shop.
What we'll do, we'll have a quick look around.
The criminals have developed sophisticated printing technology, making it difficult for ordinary shoppers to spot a fake.
We're aware that Jacobs Creek at the moment is being counterfeited. And unfortunately there seems to be some in the shop. I just picked up this one. We've got Enjoy Jacobs Creek Responsibility. It's got an extra eye popped in there. The website, which is normally Drink Aware, and there's again a spelling error here, it's Drink Aware.
Oh, So, if you're shopping for wine, there's the first thing to look out for. As the fakes are often made abroad, the labels may well include spilling mistakes. I'd take that off the shelf and have no idea whatsoever.
I mean, this is a good example. If you can tell me at a quick glance which one of these is counterfeit.
This one's counterfeit because it's got the extra I in it.
Exactly.
That's the only reason I would know. Otherwise,
The label's slightly embossed as well.
Yeah, look at that. Oh, yeah. There's another tip then. If you suspect your bottle is bogus, a wonky, badly printed or creased label could be the giveaway. And here are some other ways to spot a fake. Always compare your bottle to ones that appear identical on the shelf. Check the fill levels. If a bottle contains more or less alcohol than the others, don't buy it. If a bottle's significantly cheaper, take a closer look. And lastly, the taste test. If, once you've bought it, your wine has an unusual flavour, stop drinking it and contact trading standards as quick as you like.
Do you know where you got these bottles of wine from?
I just going to cash and carry, buying there.
So you got them from cash and carry,
Yeah.
you're saying? And have you got receipts for them?
Yeah, we can.
You have receipts?
But we giving all for my accountant to do the VATs.
It seems as if the shop owner here is really none the wiser about where these bottles came from, but he thinks he got them from the cash and carry, all at the same time, so the good ones and the hooky ones at the same time. He later tells me the same thing.
I don't know, really I don't know. The first time I heard about this fake wine.
But however it got here, simply having it on the premises spells trouble.
I'm 99% certain that that wine didn't come from a cash and carry. Okay? A reputable one that you've mentioned earlier, I don't think they would have supplied that. It's a criminal offence to have this wine in your possession, okay? Serious criminal offence. Okay, not only is it a copy of the original, but also we don't know what's in it, okay? My general advice is if anyone walks in the shop and tries to sell you similar products, then there may be the people to avoid.
It's a strong warning, but this is serious stuff. While fake booze is making criminals rich, it can also make you and me seriously ill. Oh, yeah, hooky wine! I'll be revealing some of the terrifying ingredients in some of Britain's seized counterfeit bottles a little bit later.
As well as being able to enter shops, the inspectors can go into hotels and takeaways and restaurants. It's all part of their aim to prevent us getting food poisoning. But how would a typical family kitchen stand up to the same professional hygiene checks? There are many hidden dangers in the way we prepare and cook our food, so we're going to put it to the test. I've been invited round for a good old-fashioned family supper by single mum Jenny Camanada. Now, she knows I'm coming, but she doesn't know I've brought along a friend, our very own food inspector, Ben Milligan. Ben has inspected hundreds of restaurant kitchens, but never a domestic one. Jenny is a busy working mum, and I wonder how she'll react to me turning up with a food inspector. Hello.
Hello.
Are you Jenny?
I am indeed. Yes.
I'm Chris. How are you?
I'm fine. Nice to meet you.
Come on out.
What can I do?
I want to introduce you to... You know you've invited us round for
Yes.
supper?
Yes.
We've got a bit of a surprise for you.
OK, right.
He's a food inspector.
I've got a surprise too. I can't cook. No, I'm joking.
Jenny can cook, really. Just one of the many things to juggle being a typical supermum. But is she doing it right?
This is where it's all happening. Yep, welcome to the kitchen.
You look remarkably calm. You didn't panic when we came to the door.
No, I think having 3 children and 5 cats, nothing really throws me anymore.
Yeah, 3 children, 5 cats. Right, I want you to stop. I don't want you doing any cleaning or anything like that, because we want to make sure
that it is as it is.
As it is, and I want to make sure that you're feeding all your children and cats hygienically and safely.
Go for it.
As Jenny puts her pasta in the oven, Ben gets to work with his hygiene swabs, and he takes samples from everything, including the kitchen sink. Believe it or not, it's often one of the dirtiest places in the home. The reason? The seemingly innocent kitchen sponge.
Do you want gloves?
No, it's all right. A used sponge can contain hundreds of thousands of bacteria per square inch, including Salmonella and E. coli. Its moist micro crevices, or holes, are a trap for germs and are difficult to disinfect. Now, by using Ben's ATP monitor, we're about to find out just how clean Jenny's sink really is.
You ready for this?
I'm ready for it. Go on then. A reading above 1,000 could mean a potential risk of food poisoning. Ooh, that's 1,547. I mean, so if that was a work surface in a proper restaurant, what would you be saying?
There's a lot of ifs and buts, but if it was a work surface, even if it was a work surface in here, I'd say you're not sanitising this properly.
How dirty is a kitchen sink?
There's quite a famous stat that says your sink can be as dirty as your toilet seat. Well, I would qualify that though, and it says it depends on the sink, depends on the toilet seat as well.
So you know what's coming next. In the interest of scientific endeavour, I insist on Ben swabbing this toilet. And guess what? It really is cleaner than the kitchen sink. Next on the list, the chopping board. And Jenny's well within the hygiene safety limit, as is her microwave, another common breeding ground for germs. So, that's 2-1 to Jenny. Not bad, especially when she has to look after and feed 3 kids, who are all experts at quality control. It does look good. What's it like, Dylan?
It's nice.
Yeah?
Well, my mum doesn't cook a lot, but when she does, it's not the best, but it's not the worst either.
Dylan, that was very diplomatically put.
Yeah.
Is she a messy cook?
I've seen the kitchen. I go in there every day.
Right. And is it tidy?
Tidier than my room.
Back in the kitchen, it looks like Mum's good run is about to end. Ben's been inspecting the fridge, and it's not the out-of-date foods that's giving him the nightmares. We're all guilty of that. It's the potential for cross-contamination.
We've got chicken fillets at the bottom there with a tub of hummus in it.
Right.
Well, you don't cook hummus, you put it on your sandwiches. You're touching the pot and then you're touching your sandwiches. You can't put tubs on top of open, raw packets of meat.
So, food inspector, Ben, what did you think?
First of all, we had a good look at your sink. The sponges.
I know, they're horrible.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to introduce you to an invention called kitchen roll. Because I hope you're not using the sponges to do your surfaces, are you?
I do, yes.
You do?
Yeah.
OK, because the sponges...
Breeding ground for bacteria.
Yeah, but when
I'd stick them in the dishwasher every few days, so...
Oh, really?
Yeah.
We didn't even test the sponge themselves. We tested the sink under the sponge, and that was bad enough. So I shudder to think what the sponge must have been like. So, your stock control is the pits.
Yes.
To be quite frank, and that lot is condemned.
Yeah.
It's in the bin.
Yeah.
Anything else that needs to go?
And the sponges.
Do you want to get the sponges?
OK. Bye-bye, sponges.
Yeah. Good riddance.
See you later.
There we are. Done. Now, come on, be honest. Does Jenny's kitchen and fridge ring any bells with you? If it does, you have to remember the following. Use kitchen roll instead of sponges and dishcloths. Never store raw meat above or near cooked or ready-to-eat foods. And lastly, if you've got pets, don't let them jump onto the work surfaces.
Food inspectors are like hygiene sheriffs, a bit, upholding and enforcing the law. But with so many people flouting it, it can sometimes feel like the Wild West, hence the music. Stick with it. In Surrey, there's a woman who's seen a fistful of food trouble.
I actually recently had to shut down my local because of cockroaches. When I got there, the kitchen had quite a lot of cockroaches in, so we shut the kitchen down. My mum and dad likes to go in there as well, so they were quite annoyed that I'd shut their local down as well.
But it's not just food cowboys Lisa deals with. Today it's a local Indian. 24 hours ago, she carried out a routine inspection and made a discovery that's put it in danger of closure too.
Hello.
Are you all right?
I'm good. I've come to do your revisit today because there wasn't any hot water yesterday.
Yeah, I'll show you the number now to whom I have telephoned yesterday.
Yeah.
He said he's coming on Friday morning.
Right.
To see whether it is repairable or not.
Where's the main chef?
Oh dear, no hot water till Friday at the earliest. What about the customers who want to wash their hands? Or the staff who must wash theirs?
They knew there was a problem and they've not fixed it. How are you washing your hands at the moment? Because you've got no hot water.
We try to, we use the hot water for kettles.
In the kettles. You don't pour hot water onto your hands, do you?
They make the hot water there and mix up with the cold water, these jugs.
Right.
Half and half.
So how are they doing all their washing up at the moment?
Cold water in there and hot water in there.
So where's the plug for the sink?
Cigarette plug.
So they've not been using this system long because they had to route around for the plug?
No, this plug is there.
Still just little...
Without hot running water, Lisa's not convinced the staff can keep their hands properly clean, but she'll soon find out for sure. The results of the swabs she's taken will be back in a week.
Well, I'd like to see, I'd like to put CCTV in there and be able to watch them all the time and have a button and say, please, Abu, please go wash your hands.
It's a good idea, but this is not rogue traders. Lisa will just have to wait for the lab tests to reveal what's really going on here. In North London, trading standards officers John and Andy are showing me just how bad London's fake alcohol problem has become.
What are we looking at here? This is about 20 seizures we've done over the course of a couple of month period.
Is this getting worse, what we're seeing here, or is it tailing off?
It doesn't seem to be dropping off at the moment. There's still plenty out there, as we've seen today.
And presumably when we've got a period of economic difficulty and people are looking for a bargain, people are looking to make money, I mean, it's going to be an attractive way to do it.
Most definitely, yeah. People are strapped for cash and they will look for the cheaper option. The counterfeiters know that and they'll happily oblige by making it.
And those counterfeiters aren't just operating in the capital. It seems like they're everywhere. In fact, trading standards officers are so concerned by their expansion that they joined forces with police and customs on a nationwide crackdown. One of the hotspots was 150 miles from here, in that direction, Staffordshire. It's in this semi-rural county that trading standards are launching the UK's biggest ever counterfeit alcohol sting. Help comes from Her Majesty's Revenue and Customs, tip-offs come from the most unusual sources, and leadership comes from Brian.
Good morning, everybody. We had some intelligence in Newcastle. Part of it came from two alcoholics who said that when they drank the cheap vodka from a particular shop, it was burning their throat. As a result of that, we did a number of warrants on retail premises and found various counterfeit products on sale.
In today's operation, 12 officers will cover 60 square miles, pinpointing and seizing fake vodka. Even some of those involved can't believe this potentially lethal spirit is now so widespread in the sticks.
To be honest, us in the counties have sat there while, some of the more metropolitan areas have had issues, and we've sat there, I think fair to say, slightly smugly going, oh yes, well, it's an urban issue. With these illicit spirits, we're so concerned about both the prevalence of the spirits on the retail market and also the public health issue with people drinking these spirits. We've really pulled out all the stops on this one.
With the health of the public in real danger, all shops have to be checked, and the officers have special tools that you and I don't.
There's many things that we can check, but one of them is to see if the stamp illuminates or not. You can see, look, feels like a greeny colour. Do you get approached at all?
By
white van men, particularly white men? No?
No, never have done actually.
Thanks very much for your time.
Yes, that's us done. Thank you.
Okay.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Although this first store is free of fakes, it seems that others aren't. Throughout the day, Amanda and her colleagues make a number of seizures.
The first thing I noticed was the labels weren't quite on straight, so then I picked up a bottle and looked at it and I could see bits floating inside it, and that was what made me think that there is something definitely wrong with that product.
Analysis takes place here, at Staffordshire Trading Standards' own lab. By breaking down the alcohol, officers can identify byproducts of the distillation process. The results from these seized bottles confirm their suspicions. The vodka is fake and dangerous.
The major consideration was that some of the samples had got methanol in it. Methanol is an industrial chemical traditionally used to make antifreeze. It can cause damage to organs, to optic nerves. It can even kill you.
How much methanol did you find in that bottle?
About half a teaspoonful.
And how much methanol does it take to make you blind?
2.
2 teaspoonfuls. Yeah. So the amount of methanol it takes to damage you is very small.
And if you were drinking this on a constant basis, day in, day out, the effect adds up.
Methanol's not the only nasty thing you can find.
What we found in this particular product is chloroform.
Chloroform? Because I only know that from James Bond and knockout drops, effectively.
The issue with chloroform is that it is not allowed in food at all. This is being made with industrial chemicals, not food-grade chemicals. It's just possibly a byproduct or whatever of the process that chloroform has ended up in the finished product.
Do you think we're on the brink of a disaster here because you've got dangerous drinks and they seem to be widely available?
The people who can stop this are the retailers. They need to say no to White Van Man. They need to say, no, we don't want any more of you.
But as we'll see later, White Van Man is doing a roaring trade with this fake and potentially harmful product. And the chance of you buying it and drinking it is increasing all the time.
Well, dodgy alcohol may be making news now, but some food and drink scares have been with us for years. Usually they involve a single bad ingredient, and often it's this one. This is Escherichia coli, or E. coli as he's known to his mates. Now this one is always in the headlines. Let's have a look under the microscope. As you can see, it looks like a rod-shaped group of bacteria. Now this is a highly infectious bacteria and can be really dangerous. So where does E. coli come from? Well, it's found in the intestines of humans and animals, and of course you can find that in their feces, which can contaminate water supplies, it can contaminate soil. Last summer in the UK, 74 people were hospitalised when they ate leeks and potatoes from contaminated soil. It only takes a few cells to make you ill, and the symptoms are bloody diarrhoea, severe abdominal pains and vomiting. And this can happen after, 3 or 4 days, and it can last up to 2 weeks. Now, the real danger of E. coli is that it can cause serious, life-threatening infections to the more vulnerable members of society. So how do we avoid E. coli? Well, it's all about hygiene. Always wash your hands after going to the toilet and before handling food. Wash your fruit and veg thoroughly and avoid cross-contamination by using separate utensils and chopping boards.
Now, you don't need to teach Lisa Wareham about E. coli. Food inspectors know everything about it already. In fact, Lisa has a thing about this particular bug. And a way with words.
In the industry, we call it from turd to tongue because obviously, the bacteria comes from your faeces and then, through poor hygiene, it then gets spread onto your food until it reaches your tongue.
Lovely. Now remember, India Finest, the restaurant in Redhill where the hot water was off. Well, Lisa took some hygiene swabs, sent them off for analysis, and the results are now in. And guess which bug has shown up?
I've come back today because, the samples that I'd taken the other day, they failed quite badly, really. They had E. coli on them. Probably came down to poor hand washing.
In the kitchen, manager Abu has had the boiler fixed. Sort of. Not.
Their water's gone cold.
If hands aren't being washed thoroughly, E. coli could be being spread across the kitchen. Using her environmental monitor, Lisa tests the surfaces that are being touched frequently.
So a hand contact point should really be around about 30. So that's quite high really for a hand contact point because obviously you're touching that and then you're preparing your salad, and that's how you can transfer some of the bacteria from one area to another.
Despite Lisa's demonstration, the manager's confident that no bacteria can survive the restaurant's cooking process.
Yeah, you have to be cautious about E. coli, but one thing I should say, a lot of people died of eating English food because of E. coli. No Indian has died even with E. coli, just because we cooked with very high temperatures.
OK then, what about food that stays cold?
So with the yoghurts, you use this once every week. Because on here...
Comes on every Wednesday.
Every Wednesday. Because it says once open, consume within 3 days. So once you've opened that, you should really...
Yeah, it goes 1 week is finished. Then
well, no, according
left.
to the manufacturer's instructions, you have to use it within 3 days. So you've got separation going on in there. And also, you can see there's some contamination in there.
It go off automatically. You don't have to...
Yeah, but you can't see some bacteria.
Oh, no. Bacteria you can't see, but you can see it when it's go off. It's swollen.
You couldn't see that other one had E. coli in.
It's a tough call for Lisa. The E. coli count isn't high enough to justify her taking action against the restaurant. Instead, she leaves them with some cleaning recommendations and decides to return in 1 month to gather more hygiene samples, anonymously. As for the manager, he seems satisfied with things the way they are.
I think I am the cleanest restaurant in the whole area. I can guarantee it. But health people may not, but I can.
What were they? Back in North London, the team cracking down on fake alcohol are on another operation, but this time with a secret weapon.
You might be wondering why Andy, John and myself are just sitting in a van right now. It's because the guys have deployed Undercover Ali.
Ali's our secret undercover chap who we send in ahead of us just to have a look around and reconnoitre. He's expert in spotting trademark infringing items.
So the point being that you guys eventually get recognised.
We've had jobs where we'll come in the front door and you can hear people, stuff getting moved around in the back. We are recognised, unfortunately.
So Undercover Ali, I mean, we will never get to meet him.
No.
I mean, we will, but you won't. That's the point. Which is a shame, because he's a nice guy.
Based on Undercover Ali's intel, we're heading to a store in Kilburn. I now have the knowledge needed to spot a fake, and I am determined to use it. John and Andy start on the wine. Me, I'm going for the harder stuff.
I think I've discovered a bottle of Hooky Smirnoff, because this is Smirnoff, registered trademark, Priminum vodka, and it contains only a trace of carbohydrate.
Could be absolutely anything in there, anything.
Unless every time you buy a bottle of spirits or a bottle of alcohol and check every word for the spelling, then you might have an idea. Otherwise, no chance.
John and Andy's department sees nearly 1,000 bottles of counterfeit alcohol over a 12-month period. During the crackdown across central England, more than 3,000 bottles were seized from about 700 premises. So far, no arrests have been made for manufacturing or distribution, and nobody knows how many bottles remain on our shelves, so keep them peeled.
Well, that certainly made me think twice about having a curry and a bottle of wine.
Which isn't necessarily a bad thing.
Join us next week as we reveal more of those food dangers and how to avoid them. See you then.
Bye.
What do you mean?
I know, well...